So from hurricanes to wildfires to flooding, the increase in extreme weather events can be attributed to climate change. And that can be a tough thing to explain to our kids. But we've got some help for you. Mary DeMocker shows us now. She is the author of The Parent's Guide to Climate Revolution. Mary, thanks for joining us. Several chapters of your book actually outline the ways for parents to talk to their kids of all ages, really, when it comes to climate change. But what are some of your best tips for parents to talk to their kids without scaring them or overwhelming them?
Sure. I mean, I think the thing that we need to understand is that kids are scared and they need adults to reassure them and to give them ideas for how they can be prepared going forward and how they can be empowered to really make a difference right now when adults are making decisions and policies that are going to shape the world that kids live in long after you and I are gone.
And you say emotional support and environment are important when talking to our kids. Why is that?
Well, what's important is for us to understand as adults how overwhelming this can feel. A lot of adults are kind of scared and overwhelmed by the climate crisis. So what's important is to actually to listen to our kids, ask what they're, what they know, what they've heard, what they're concerned about, and validate those feelings. And if they need, a simple explanation so they can understand what's going on, you can tell them that some of the things people do create pollution that's kind of rising up in the air and creating a kind of a blanket over the earth and heating it. And that's creating some problems like the floods and the hurricanes that you mentioned and the freak snowstorms in places like Texas. But the key is to pair that with emotional support and with the good news, which is we know how to stop creating that pollution. And we even know how to start drawing that blanket back down into the earth and soil and in trees.
And you also mentioned facilitating, empowering conversations with our kids, but say parents often make a big mistake by failing to listen, right? So what do we do about that and how is that a problem?
Well, I think listening to them is most important because anybody who's scared or fearful, the thing they need the most is to be heard and to be validated. So parents can do that really well. You know your child more than anybody, and you know what they need. What they need are answers about what they can do right now, here, today, and that they need to know that we're not going to abandon them to leave them with this problem by themselves. We can do things together as a family.
Absolutely, and take care of ourselves as well, right?
Yes, absolutely. Take care of ourselves and take care of the future by advocating as a family for the changes that are going to not just change our light bulbs, but really change the systems and the bigger issues that we need to address in order to rebalance the atmosphere and create a future that kids can not only survive in the future, but actually thrive in. And some of the ways that we can do that are in our family, we reduce food waste, we refuse plastic water bottles, but we also
Mhm.
really advocate, we're good citizens and we
Right,
advocate for the kind of changes that are going
right,
to really make a difference in children's lives going
for
forward.
sure. There are
Clean
things we
energy.
all can do to kind of help out the environment. Thanks to Mary DeMocker, author of The Parent's Guide to Climate Revolution. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.